This is the future.
3 years ago, I was showing a build for Garuda that allows you to survive and nuke even high-level enemies. This was the time wherein shield gating is not present yet, nor the busted strip all enemy defenses mechanic. Just pure Warframe goldness where you have to mix and match your Warframe and weapons, and other things so that you can achieve the perfect build for solo plays, or even team setup. The usual Nuke Garuda was taking advantage of her first and fourth ability, then matching it with a good weapon that has insane kill speed to somehow increase the damage stack of her first ability. Once you activate her first ability, it doesn't just form a vault-like shield but it also can nuke targets once you hold your first ability and release it when you have millions of damage stacked on already. So what's the purpose of seeking talons then? The charged up damage from a hurled Dread Heart from Dread Mirror will also apply a heavy slash proc on enemies marked by seeking talons. So basically, build up combo first with any nuking weapons such as Kuva Brahma and Kuvazar so you can receive damage stack in your first, then cast seeking talons, and hurl that blood orb to those enemies affected by seeking talons. Just rinse and repeat the process as you can easily regenerate energy with your bloodletting ability and at the same time, you have blood altar to restore the health you lost from bloodletting. While the Nuke Garuda was fun in the past, it's lacking survivability and the only way to fix that is to be locked into using her as Q-Brow invisibility, and relying on the quick thinking mod. And the fact is, you can't be invisible all the time since you need to stack some damage with your guns. Gladly, the survivability issue of Garuda was addressed when the shield gating mechanic got introduced. It gives you that 1 second invulnerability to somehow get your blood altar up or escape using your seeking talon. In case you just came back, Garuda Prime now has invulnerability while casting seeking talons, not to mention that you can maneuver well when casting the ability. With shield gating plus the invulnerability of seeking talons, the new Garuda is lively and it's still fun to play within the steel path and beyond the level in the start chart. It's even better if you replace your bloodletting with the gloom ability. Not only that you have to heal per hit using your weapon, or even your seeking talons ability, but you also get to slow enemies with a 95% effectiveness. With Garuda, you can go nuts with a blind rage build since you can restore health. Now, this is the normal nuking Garuda, wherein you just dive into steel path levels in the start chart, fight high level trash mobs, and just enjoy them die. After the Duviri Paradox update, a new nuking setup for Garuda emerged. This time, instead of the usual seeking talons and Dread Mirror nuke, we go with the Thermal Sunder Garuda nuke. But squad leader, I have tried Thermal Sunder Garuda in start chart, it sucks. Who said we will be using it in the start chart levels? Right now, I can say that aside from Ghost and Mirage, the Thermal Sunder Garuda can be super effective in farming the Steel Path circuit and Duviri. Now, there are limitations to a Thermal Sunder Garuda nuke, and that is we can't achieve the full power of the ability since we don't have the redline mechanic. The damage dealt by subsumed Thermal Sunder is equivalent to 50% of Ghost's battery. By the way, with a redline battery above 80%, the cold proc freezes enemies solid instantly. Also, the heat mode's damage is doubled. This doubling is applied after the bonus damage from active heat procs on a target, allowing consecutive casts to double the previous cast's damage. Lastly, the blast proc permanently strips away the enemy's current amount of armor based on battery power level, up to a maximum of 100% with a full battery charge, before inflicting its damage. Overall, you could say that subsuming Thermal Sunder to other Warframes won't result in insane nuking against Steel Path and beyond enemies, but that's not the case as with the new decree system. Thermal Sunder can do wonders in the Duviri circuit. Why Garuda with Thermal Sunder? Well, it's just like saying putting Thermal Sunder in Harrow. The same concept as it gives us the ability to replenish energy so you can spam your Thermal Sunder. So yes, Harrow is also a viable option for Thermal Sunder, but I prefer Garuda since it's just one press energy regen, compared to Harrow that you need to channel the ability. Moving on, let's talk about decrees. Aside from the damage buff that you gain from getting a decree, there are also specific decrees that make the Thermal Sunder Garuda insanely powerful in the Steel Path Duviri circuit. First of all, Lusinia's Suffering will grant guaranteed cold procs to attacks, and this combine with the heat procs of Thermal Sunder, making it do blast which strips the armor of enemies. The damage becomes insane just by spamming your heat Thermal Sunder when you have this decree that you will start melting 4k enemies in the Steel Path circuit easily. The only problem is, it only works within 10 meters, but that doesn't matter, those the heat procs of thermal sunder melts, especially if you have the twofold torment decree. Then, it even gets better when you have efficiency in energy with proficient fighter and an envious economy. It's even better if you have close contagion, as it will spread the insane damage over time of your heat to enemies within 10 meters. For the build, you can go with blind rage with this one, since we already have bloodletting to take care of any energy problems. Then, max range if possible, and, if you have an argent shard, then go for more casting speed so you can spam the heat proc better. Also, since you don't need any arcane energize, then might go with Molt Augmented and any arcane that you deem helpful for your playstyle. Lastly, this whole setup relies on shield gating for survivability, so best equip the brief respite modders in Duviri. You don't have the luxury to choose a pistol that has auger mods on it. Honestly, Garuda is one of those Warframes that constantly surprised me. I wasn't expecting that after her prime came out, the survivability issue gets fixed, and after the Duviri paradox, I was even surprised by how insane the thermal sunder nuke Garuda, which I only use for leveling my Garuda in Sanctuary Onslaught in the past. As I have said, Harrow can also do this, but I prefer Garuda because you can easily restore energy with one press of a button. Thank you so much for watching. Squad leader signing off.